Hello, this is Business Connect. In today's world, life can almost not be dissociated from technology. It is everywhere around us, and over the past 10 years, there has been so much more technology produced than in all the decades and centuries before that. The world as we know it is rapidly changing, and technology is leading the fort in this evolution. As a result, this has affected the way we do business as well. Work can now be done faster, cheaper, and more efficiently. On today's edition of Business Connect, we will be talking to an expert in technology for businesses, and together we'll be looking at several types of technology solutions that can make your business more efficient and your processes seamless. We'll be right back.
There is a life full of unlimited possibilities. There is a solution to every situation you may be going through. Yes, your life can be beautiful. You can experience complete transformation in every area of your life. Lovewell Plus Response Center is here to show you how. Contact us through our various platforms for prayers, counseling, inquiry, and contributions. Call the numbers now showing on your screen. Send an email to info@lovewellplus.org or chat live with us at real time. Log on to www.lovewellplus.org. God bless you.
Welcome back, and as always, I'm with my co-host on the show today, Charles. How you doing?
Very well, very well. I'm excited we're talking technology. You know, I always tell the story about how when I was born, for like 7 months, my dad didn't know I was born because it was far away, and then we had to write. He had to get a letter and a text, and he didn't get it up until he came back and he saw me and like, oh wow,
oh wow.
so today we
you
just
have been very excited about that one because before you he had
5 girls. You know, he was excited, and you know, with the click of mouse, wherever he was, he could have gotten the message.
Yeah, and today people upload their new babies on Facebook, so you would have been one of the Facebook babies.
Who knows?
Anyway, my guest today is the Managing Director and CEO of Future Software Resources, also called FutureSoft. It's one of Africa's premier online solutions company, Nkem Delim Bego. You're welcome to Business Connect.
Thank you very much.
Now, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I just have to say that because you know a lot about this technology, especially when it comes to small businesses, and I'm sure our audience out there, they just can't wait to hear what you have to say as regards the kind of solutions that can make their businesses even more effective. Mm-hmm. But the world as it is has changed. Mm-hmm. But then, is there one technology solution that every business person must have?
So I would say the main or the number one technology solution that every business should have is their own domain name and email addresses. So you don't necessarily need to have a website, but you definitely have to have a corporate domain name and email addresses set up, because especially when your business grows, people will take you serious only if you have that. So I think that is the one piece of, or well, it's not really a piece of technology, but the one technology that everybody, regardless of what you're into and regardless of the size of your business, you should have that. And I mean, registering a domain name and hosting, your domain name is very cheap. It's
Yes.
something that if you're going into business and you're serious about your business, you will definitely make a priority and put into your startup cost.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that you could have a domain name without a website.
I mean, yeah, you can. But I had the boss one time who never ever took any mail seriously which did not come from a domain name.
Yeah.
So if I had sent him a proposal and I put at my yahoo.com, he just disregards.
Yes.
So I mean, so you're just reiterating that to say, yes, if you want to be taken seriously in business, you should have a domain name.
Exactly.
So and that's so much different from having a website.
Yes, it's completely different because basically let's say it's www.nkem.com, right? And my email address is nkem@nkem.com, then I send you a business email, but that doesn't mean that I have a website when you go to www.nkem.com. But I have my emails up and running. What we usually advise is that at least if you don't have a website, you can put up a one-page holding page that just has your contact information and maybe a list of the services that you offer. That way, if people actually do come across your, emails and they just want to check, oh, what does this company actually do? Who is this person? Then they'll just look up your mini website that is really just one page and just has the basic information about, your business. And domain names, we have so many cases where they're businesses that have been operating for years and they've been using maybe a blogspot or they've been using WordPress and they don't have their actual domain name and somebody else has registered it and is now saying, well, pay me $50,000 and then you can have it back. So I mean, that is what can happen to you if you grow your business, and you don't actually take into consideration that you should put the right things in place first. So the same way that you would say, okay, in order for me to go to a meeting, I'm going to buy a shirt and a tie, it's the same way that you should look at, okay, in order to actually, and that you're going to print a business card. So one of the things that you need for your business is to have a domain name and your email address is set up.
And sometimes it could cost less than the business cards.
Yes, definitely.
It's very cheap.
It's very, very cheap.
You have solutions that start from as low as $40, even lower than that.
Exactly.
It's really cheap.
So, I mean, for example, our smallest package is 14,000 Naira for the whole year. So by the time you calculate it per month, you're paying like 1,000 and something Naira a month. So if you take your business serious, you would go with a solution like that and at least know that you've done the most basic in terms of having your IT, your IT infrastructure set up.
As it is.
Yes.
So you just spoke about the package, which is 14,900 Naira. What else is in the package?
So basically, it comes with the registration of your domain name, hosting space, and 15 email addresses.
15?
Yes.
50 or 15?
15.
15 email
yes.
addresses.
So, I mean, definitely big enough for, because most startups are one-man businesses at the beginning. Then maybe you would want to set up info at your domain name. You obviously want your own name at your domain name. Maybe another one for sales. Maybe you set up one for your PA that doesn't really exist.
Exactly.
And things like that. But at the end of the day, really and truly, you should be able to operate with 15 email addresses without a problem. Most of our startup clients, they they have like 4 or 3 email addresses at the beginning, and then they kind of like keep adding new email addresses at a later stage. And for them, what they like about the fact that the package is, so affordable is that they can scale up whenever they want. So if all of a sudden, my business is growing really big and I'm like, okay, now I need 20 email addresses, you can just scale up to the next package and, you're not breaking the bank. And
fantastic.
What are those technologies that are out there in developed countries that we are yet to tap into here in Africa?
So, I mean, there are loads and loads of technology solutions that we haven't really tapped into properly, and I think that we can actually benefit from that, because we can now choose the ones that are going to be really, really beneficial. We can choose the ones that are going to be big in the future and actually jump on those ones and leave out all the ones that are either have already failed or are about to fail. In terms of, taking business online, there's still a lot of businesses that are not online the way that businesses are online in, Europe and America. If we look at the insurance industry, for example, everywhere else in the world, you just go online, you search, it tells you the price, you buy, and we're getting there. So these solutions are being developed, they are actually coming into the market, but we need more of these solutions. We need to look at how we can automate processes. And I mean, in the banking sector, there's one of the banks that's doing a great job of, you can open accounts online and things like that. Some of the solutions that are coming out of Nigeria are actually more advanced than what they have in Europe or in the UK, because we basically started from zero, and then we're looking at, oh, what are they doing? Oh, we like that, but we can do it better than them. Oh, actually, in Nigeria, that's not even going to work.
Yeah.
We need to do it on mobile. And they are still, because here mobile is so much more powerful than over there, they are now like, oh, we have to still have mobile, but the solution already exists in the third world, right? And that's pretty amazing. And that, I think, is where the powerful nature of technology can come in, and what we can, if we look at it properly, we can actually use as a great benefit. I also think that 3D printing, I think, is definitely going to be very, very big in Africa, because it means that in your own home, you can create prototypes of, different things that you've designed, and it will help with furniture manufacturing and any kind of other manufacturing that requires prototyping, right? Because it means that you don't have to go abroad anymore to create prototypes. You can do the prototypes based on a very simple CAD design.
Yeah.
You just put it in and connect it to the printer, and it prints it. And
what's stopping the technology from evolving in this space?
I think it's number one, exposure. So, I mean, I've been in the business for 7 years now, and when we started, we were literally begging people, let's do your website. Now people are like, please do my website. So it's the dynamic has completely changed, and there are solutions that we pitched, 5 years ago, and people were like, ha, 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 what's that rubbish? Now they're like, oh wow, that's such a fantastic and novel idea. And I'm like, no, it's not novel, it's 5 years old, and it's not even, everywhere else in the world, it's even older than 5 years old, but the market is just not there yet. So one of the key lessons that I think I've learned in business in this market is that whatever you think is the trend of the future, keep it for the future, and look at the things that are a little bit outdated even, because they're going to work in this market. Even in terms of design and things like that. When I present clients with, let's say 3 different designs, one that's super modern, one that's, contemporary, and then one that's a little bit old school, I would say 75% of the time they'll go for the old school design.
Wow.
And we can see it if you go to any kind of conference of any business leaders and you look at their PowerPoint presentations, you're doing this because...
Some use Microsoft Word.
Exactly,
to
presentations. So that already shows you that we don't really appreciate, beauty in terms of design. For us, the content is more important. We're not really looking at, and that's what we're used to. So there's nobody that has come in the market and said, okay, you know what, all of you need to go on a course because you can't be the MD of a big bank and you're presenting this kind of nonsense.
How did you navigate that particular scenario, which you must have encountered several times with several clients?
Well, so one of the things that we did, we said, okay, let's focus on websites at the beginning and hosting. And what we did is to actually create loads and loads of designs, and then we printed them and put them in a book. So when I go for presentations, I go with my book.
Just show the book.
And I showed because then there were no tablets.
Yes,
there was no iPad or anything like that. Smartphones were not that advanced. So now, obviously, I wouldn't go with a book. I would go with a tablet or a computer. But then it was something where people are like, oh, okay, let me see this, your presentation book. Hey, your portfolio is very good. And they were used to doing business like that. Now, they would probably laugh at you like, okay, where's your tablet really? You're in technology and, this is what you're bringing. But then, because there was nobody else that even had a portfolio, a web designer was a boy in school, that can put some stuff online.
Weaver.
Exactly, and that was basically what web design was 7 years ago in Nigeria. Now it's gotten more advanced. Now there are more people. There's still loads of boys in school that
that are your competition.
Exactly, my main competition, to be honest. But the market is very, very big, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of people in the tech space should remember, and they should also remember that this market is, we're scratching the surface. We have not even started.
Okay, so you mentioned...
We're going to go on a break.
Oh, okay.
We have to go on a break right now. When we come back, we will pick it up from right there. How big is the market? And what are the possibilities for you as a young entrepreneur? We'll be right back.
Level Plus is now on your mobile format and connects you in real time. You can now watch your favorite programs, episodes, live shows, prayer shows, features, live TV, archive videos, and lots more. You can also participate with your comments and contributions from anywhere in the world. Download on any of your mobile device, whether it's Android or iOS or Windows, the Level Plus mobile app now and stay connected. Level Plus, totally you.
Okay, welcome back. And if you just joined us, this is still Business Connect, and we are talking to the MD of Futuresoft, Nkem Bego. We've been talking about technology in Africa, and we've been exploring one of the two things that SMEs and small business can take advantage of. And one of the things you spoke about, Nkem, was the domain name. Secondly, you spoke about online. And before we went on the break, you were talking to us about how big the market is. So let's just finish, let's just wrap up on that point. How big is the market in Nigeria?
Okay, so I mean, obviously it depends on what you're doing, who your target demographic is. But if you're looking at the market of individuals, you know, look at Nigeria, we have 170 million. Look at Africa, there are 1 billion people here. If you're looking at, let's say, the B2B market, so business to business, obviously the market is smaller, but there are loads and loads of businesses in Nigeria that can benefit from exposure, that can benefit from digital marketing and things like that. So the market is very, very big. You just have to have the right solution, and you need to position yourself well. And I think one of the things in Nigeria that we should never forget is that referrals are, you know, gold, because if you're looking for a tailor, you'll call your friend and you'll be like, Brian, hey, you know, who sews your suits? Then Brian will say, there's one guy, you know, and you will use that guy, not because you knew him before, but because because you know, if he messes up, you're going to go to Brian and say, Brian, this is your guy, he messed up. Brian is going to go and threaten him, and then he'll make sure that...
Exactly, that's the way it works.
That's the way it works, and I think it's going to take a very long time for that traditional, you know, way of us doing business to be broken. You know, so we need to make sure that we kind of still make sure that we keep that in mind when we're doing business, because everything is based on relationships. All the people that get sponsorship, it's because they know somebody, you know, not because their proposal is necessarily the best out of all the proposals that are being put forward, but it's the relationships. And I think as a culture, we really treasure those relationships, you know. So in any kind of line of business, relationships are very important, and networks are very important for the growth of your business. But generally, I would say the market is very, very big. And I personally believe that there's always enough space for everybody to play in the market. You just have to find your unique selling point, and you have to find how you can differentiate yourself from everybody else. So you have to know, this is what we do differently here, and that's why we're good, you know. So there might be somebody who would say, okay, you know what, my unique selling point is that I am 10% cheaper than everybody in the market, but still deliver the same quality. Somebody else will say, my unique selling point is that, you know, all our solutions are tailored to the client's needs, and, you know, we do really good customer care. So it will appeal to different people. One person that will say, I'll go with the cheap people. See, they said that they're so good. The other person will say, no, actually, I want something that is tailored. I need somebody who will come and sit down with me, who will talk to me. I rather pay a little bit more and have that than going with the guys that I just have to send them an email, they will do the work, and it's good, but I still don't get that personal touch.
What are the qualities of a good website? What do you see on a website and say, oh, okay, this is good? Apart from the fact that it's displaying what your company talks about, what your company does, what else do you see to say that it's a good website?
Okay, so I mean, one of the things that we use to measure the quality or the standard of a website is, for example, the load time. How quickly does it load? Yes. It's very, very important, especially in a market like this. Okay, internet service in Lagos is getting better, but everywhere else in the country, you know, you drive to Ogun State and suddenly your phone is on edge, and you know, you're like, what? I can't even get my emails.
The load time is dependent on the internet you have.
No, the load time is not dependent on the internet. The load time is dependent on the how heavy the site is. So if, for example, we had a client that somebody else built their website, we were just hosting it, and they kept running out of bandwidth. The reason why is because people were buying tickets on their site, and every time it created a ticket, its PDF was 2 megabytes.
Wow.
So they could have optimized it very easily, because a PDF, there were no graphics in there. They were just not optimizing it. So it could have been, 100 KB actually every single time it gets downloaded. So that makes the load time and the, stress that it goes on the server much higher if you don't optimize properly. So there are different types of software that you can use to actually check how quick is my site. Obviously search engine optimization is very, very important as well. So there are also sites where you can look at, okay, has at least the basic search engine optimization been done in terms of meta tags and,
Could you give us those sites where I can go and find out how quick my site is and what my search engine optimization is looking like?
Okay, so you can use GTmetrix.
Okay.
GTmetrix.com is basically a site. Obviously, you need to also know how to read the reports and understand.
Oh, well, I think you should do a course on that. Somewhere in Futuresoft, you'll go there and learn it.
I think it's very interesting that I'm trying to look at someone's website and it is eating into my data, right?
Yes, exactly. That's basically what it means. So if I have a home page that is, let's say, 5 meg, that's 5 meg of your data gone every single time you open my website.
I wouldn't be going there.
Never.
Exactly, but you wouldn't even know, because you would just be like, oh, maybe my internet is slow.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not loading. Then you probably even refresh. So it's now taking 10 meg of your data because you've refreshed.
Wow.
So those are the kind of things that, from not only the aesthetic angle, obviously the look and feel is very important.
Yes.
How easy is it to navigate the site? Obviously also, is there a sitemap integrated in the site? Those are the key things, and those are the things that a lot of developers just kind of push aside, but they're very, very important. For you to be ranked on Google, you need a sitemap that is crawlable by a Google bot. So that basically means Google has access to your site to search what is the content on your site, to actually read the structure of your site and then rank it and list it. If you don't have a proper XML search sitemap integrated, then Google can't do that, and that's why you see some sites that are really great, but they have really low rankings, and you find them, somewhere on the 3rd page of Google, which, if you're not on the 1st or 2nd page, you've already lost out.
But what about the SMEs who, like Brian has a protege who is into the big cake business?
Okay.
Now she has a domain name and she's gone online. Now she wants to start to get and transact online. That's going e-commerce. So how does she scale to that 3rd level?
Okay, so if she already has an existing website, it's basically to look at that website and see how easy can you integrate e-commerce into that, and what exactly is she trying to sell. So is she selling, does she have like 10 cakes ready-made every single day that she's trying to sell, or is it something where she just wants you to, maybe she's specialized in wedding cakes and she wants you to be able to order your wedding cake online and maybe make a deposit payment online, because then all she would need is a form where you can fill in the details and the payment gateway to integrate. And payment gateways are, depending on what service provider you go with, some of them actually give you the payment gateway for free, so you don't actually have to pay. So you just pay your developer for the actual integration of the gateway, and not have to pay to sign up as a merchant. Obviously, if she's trying to sell, if she just says, okay, I bake meat pies and different things on a day-to-day basis, and I want people to order their lunch from here in terms of, birthday cakes and things like that, but they're already ready-made, then of course you need to have a proper shopping cart, set up where people can order, people can have their accounts, they can make their payments as well, they can put multiple things in a shopping cart, because chances are I don't want to buy just one meat pie.
Exactly.
I probably want to buy one meat pie, one chicken pie, one sausage roll, and maybe some donuts or something like that, right? So it really depends on the nature of the business. And, at Futuresoft, what we do is we understand your business first, and then we tell you what the best solution is for your business. Because if we don't understand your business, then we can't actually, give you a proper solution that would work for you. And for me, the worst thing is if somebody has spent money and they're not getting what they want out of it. So it's very, very important that we discuss the goals that you have for your business. What kind of growth are you trying to look at? If you're just trying to increase your sales, then should probably look at marketing more instead of actually doing any kind of e-commerce. Obviously, if you have other kind of products, then also in terms of e-commerce sites are more expensive than regular websites.
yeah.
So the spend that you have is also, you know, it's almost like a real investment, to be honest. So if you don't have that money, why don't you look at selling on third-party vendor sites? There are sites that are specialized in beauty. There are sites that sell everything. You know, we know the big two that are in the market. There are sites that are specialized on just fashion. So if you, and that they actually sell third-party
Products.
goods, you know, so that means that you can sign up, and now the banks are coming up with their own solutions as
Yes,
well.
yes, yeah.
That you can sign up to and plug into, so you don't need to build your own infrastructure.
Okay, we're going to round off with, I believe it's a familiar picture that you make. You're going to be talking to people who have like an apathy for technology, like it's too hard, it's too complex, and I believe it's something that you have to do in your line of work a lot. So can you make that pitch now? Tell those guys who have apathy for technology how difficult or not is it to manipulate or to use technology?
One of the things that in Nigeria we kind of do wrong in terms of approaching technology is that, like, don't touch it, you can't break it.
Exactly.
You know, and that is the wrongest approach, because technology is made to be broken.
Wow.
So you break it, then you can fix it again. So, you know, you make a mistake, then, yeah, okay, the program is not working anymore. Uninstall, reinstall. Start
Simple.
all over again. You know, that's why every single device has factory reset, you know, because if you mess it up, you can just reset it to its, you know, how it's
Original
supposed to be. And I think that's the beauty of technology. And technology is something that makes your life easier. You can do things much quicker, and you can automate things. You can communicate with people all over the world. So I don't see any reason why you should be afraid of it or you should embrace it. And I think, you know, another thing in Nigeria is technology is for boys, not for girls. Technology, in my opinion, is not only, you know, for a specific gender. It's for everybody. One of the things that families should do is introduce their kids to technology, obviously on a moderate level. So the same way you're not going to let your child watch TV from, you know, when they get up till they go to bed, you're also not going to let them have their iPad from when they wake up till they go to bed.
Exactly.
But let them have time to actually explore and learn. And the only way that they can do that in a controlled environment is if you actually know what they're doing, and, you know, if you know the kind of apps that you want them to have access to, if you research those apps. So there was an app, for example, that was actually run by a pedophile person, and when you download it, it talks to you. Nobody knew that it basically enables the camera on your device and videos your child. So it was a very, you know, it was like a little angel that was talking, and meanwhile it was like a pedophile that was watching children all over the world. If as a parent you didn't research it properly, you probably be like, oh, this is cute, let me download it. You know, and then you download it and your kid is exposed to something like that, and, you know, suddenly they're telling your child, oh, why don't you, you know, take off your shirt? And your kid doesn't know better. Like, oh, the iPad told me, you know, that it can't be wrong, you know. So you have to be in touch with technology, not only for your own sake, but also for the sake of your children, because I also think that a lot of the misinformed people, they're just misinformed because, you know, and they have prejudice against technology. So, technology is very bad. Oh, the children will watch pornography, they will do this. Why don't you find the positive things that they can do with technology? Teach them the positive things. And I promise you, they're not going to be interested in, you know, using the technology for pornography, because they've realized that technology is powerful and they can actually build something with that technology.
Wow, there you have it. Now, if there's anybody out there who has not gone out to purchase some kind of technology equipment, I don't think you have any excuse anymore. If there's anybody out there with apathy for technology, I think we've just satisfactorily answered your questions. However, if you do have questions, though, you can send us an email, or you go onto our website. All the details are there. The website is www.businessconnectonline.com. So I want to thank our special guest for coming on the show today, Nkem. It's been a delight.
Thank you.
You want to
Thank
sing
you.
now or something? 'Cause you started I think you've convinced everybody, us especially in the studio first, and then of course the millions that are watching. So thank you very much. That's been our show. Remember, you can watch this show and past shows on www.loveworldplus.org, as well as the website I gave earlier, www.businessconnectonline.com. You can interact with us also on social media, and it's on UCOS. It's www.yookos.com, and there's a specific group that if you go there, you can start talking with us right away. It's www.yookos.com/groups/businessconnect. The addresses, I believe, are scrolling on the screen right now. Send us as many messages as you want. We will be glad to reply them. So till we come your way again next week, hey, keep winning.